Smell that? Construction, incense, industrial chemicals of every kind. But they still can't get rid of the odor of chasm bass. Species of fish. I often wonder what would have happened if they'd never found out about the psychotropic effects. I mean, on paper, a rich protein source is far more practical value than a recreational drug. But theory loses out once again to practice. Something to do with chasm bass's natural oils, apparently. If you're curious, the name is Aurora. We need to stop by the Stroud-Eklund offices. There are certain authorization procedures when large funds are being transferred, even for something like this.
Looks like some sort of checkpoint ahead. It's probably designed to suck the credits. See that shroud covering Neon? Believe it or not, you're looking at the only city in the settled systems that powers itself from lightning.
Snippers picked up the Aurora you're carrying the second you step on it.
All right, get me.
Security's got it.
Well, with all signs pointing to the Astral Lounge, I suppose we should pay it a visit. Purely for exploratory purposes, of course. If Benjamin Bayou's ego was as combustible as helium-3, he'd be able to... I've heard that Benjamin Bayou has a private penthouse at the top of the tower. The view from up there. Stroud-Eklund makes some of the finest ships in the settled systems. I'd love to get a look at their operations.
It's all right. I just need to have a short chat with my counterpart. Is she in today?
Yes, allow me to bust you in, sir. Now, Mr. Stroud, you are so lucky.
Walter,
Issa.
shall we continue from last time? The luxury cruise line market is completely outside of our core competencies. Investing into it is a mistake.
No, I'm here about... Wait a minute, a mistake. Our ship designers are the best in the settled systems.
They design personal craft and military ships, Walter. Large-scale accommodations and hospitality is a completely different beast. Oh, I'm so sorry. Here I am arguing with my partner, and you're just standing right here. Issa Eklund, the hyphenated Eklund in our glorious company's branding. Co-CEO, heir to the Eklund fortune, and somewhere down there I'm his wife, yes.
Didn't know our marriage was such a low priority.
Oh, it jumps up the list at the right moments. Oh, aren't you lovely? Walter, wherever did you meet your new friend? I'm jealous.
A colleague from Constellation.
Ah, yes, the daring explorers my partner is so infatuated with. You should hear him reciting that speech.
There's no need to go into that.
Oh, my heart skips a beat when he does it. Really, it does. Such passion. If he talked to the board that way, I wouldn't need to placate them so much. Who was it again, Walter? The founder of Constellation?
Sebastian Banks, his final address before he disappeared. I merely found a group of like-minded individuals. Just like all of us.
I'd say Walter is more of a disciple than a fan. In fact, I've heard him recite this in the lodge on more than one occasion.
Can we move on?
know. It's my favorite hobby. Now, why are you here, my dear? The board meeting isn't for a while, and our vacations aren't coming up either.
It's the discretionary fund, Issa. I need all of it.
Ugh. This wouldn't have anything to do with that meeting you've set up at the Astro Lounge, would it?
I never said that. Did you have an agent hack into my files again?
Only after you had one hack into mine. Tell me, can mutual distrust lead to a point where it's actually the same as mutual trust? Oh, just some light sparring, dear. Walter's actually very attentive when it's just the two of us.
When you mix business and family, you learn to compartmentalize.
A remarkably insecure location for a clandestine meeting.
That was the point. Neutral territory in the open.
With no leverage. Oh, you must let me help. It's been too long.
I have this all taken care of.
Some investigation into the cellar. What's motivating them? Then, some preliminary casing of the Astral Lounge for security flaws. Give you the advantage if things go wrong.
Bribe a few bouncers, alter the codes on the doors.
Yes, exactly. I hate being selfish, but I would like some time with my husband. We need to go through the fund authorizations anyway.
James Newell is the broker who knows our cellar. He'll be able to help you find out more about them. And it shouldn't be hard to find the Astral Lounge. Here, let me at least give you some operation funds since I won't be joining you. Meet me back here. I'm going to be present for the negotiation. I'm not leaving you to the Neon Sharks, I promise.
Hoping to get a meeting.
Welcome
I've
to
been waiting
Slayton
all day.
Aerospace.
It's ridiculous.
I'm afraid we aren't taking appointments right now. We're only taking meetings with our preferred clients at the moment.
I hear Slayton.
Slayton sure takes his security seriously. I don't know whether to feel safe or nervous.
Something for you when you have a moment.
Yeah, what? Is this important? I'm really busy right now. Let me save you some time. If you're here for a job, we're not hiring. If you're here about the conduction grid tour, we shut it down a year ago. See that big yellow thing that's draped over almost the entire city? That's the grid, or what the locals call the span. Besides looking like some sort of madman's modern art piece, it's actually the main source of the city's power. Well, like I said, it's shut down. Had to cut the entire tour staff too. Look, I'm sorry if I'm blowing up at you, but I've got a ton of problems and no time to deal with them all. I'm afraid that things aren't going terribly well around here. Well, sure, we still have a roof over our heads, but how long is that going to last? The conduction grid went online almost 75 years ago. And since then, we haven't developed a single groundbreaking innovation. At this point, the money we're taking in as a power utility barely covers the waste that's going on in the research and development division. No, of course not. We still produce smaller power systems and backup generators, but nothing even close to the magnitude of the conduction grid. Genodyne needs to come out with something spectacular to put us back on the map. If not, we'll remain stagnant forever, or worse. Unfortunately, no. I'm in third on the corporate ladder. One step above me is Ayumi Komiko. She's the COO of the company. And then there's Kaito Harada, our esteemed CEO who never seems to be around. Of course it is, but we're teetering on the edge of a precipice. One wrong move and the whole operation topples into the ocean. The problem is that Brayson Bayu, Administrator Bayu's brother, is currently heading up the R&D division. I swear to you, the man doesn't know the first thing about power systems or electromagnetic technology. Isn't it obvious? Administrator Bayu clearly leaned on Ms. Komiko to get his brother hired. It's nepotism in action. I can give you 117 reasons. Our employees. If Genodyne goes completely under, how many of them will lose their jobs? How many might get cut in a restructure? My position puts me in charge of the welfare of our personnel. I can't in good conscience allow that to happen to them. Of course there are. But so far, Brayson has suppressed most of their work through pure jealousy. Look, I'm running out of options. No one above me seems to care what's going on, but I'm willing to take a chance. I have a full report on Brayson that I want to send to Administrator Bayu, but I don't know if he can be trusted. What do you think I should do? It describes my aggravation with how badly Brayson Bayu is running the research and development division. I'm also including a list of all the failed experiments he's greenlit, and how much they've cost Genodyne as proof of his incompetence. I'm praying someone as financially successful as Administrator Bayu might be able to put aside his ego and look at this from a business perspective. You know what? You're absolutely right. I can't allow Brayson to run this company into the ground. Hey, look, thanks for helping me out with this. It's been on my mind for a long time. If there's anything else you need, any questions at all, feel free to ask. That's an excellent question, and the answer for it is surprisingly simple. The conduction grid is only effective in lightning-rich environments. That's why Volai was chosen as its primary development site. Genodyne has always hoped to adapt the grid's absorption technology for other applications, but nothing public has ever been announced. The span above the city is outfitted with a specially developed electromagnetic absorption system. When a lightning discharge hits the span, the energy is instantly distributed across the grid to prevent overload. The energy is then transferred through a series of polyphasic capacitors and rectifiers to ensure all of the negative and positive strikes are equalized. At this point, the energy is clean, and it gets stored in massive storage cells in Neon's underbelly, from which it's parceled out and used for power. Genodyne was founded in 2232 by the original designer of the conduction grid, Felicia Corbin. Working from her facility in Neon, it took her almost 25 years to get the conduction grid up and running. That was Genodyne's first and last major success. Thanks for taking the time to talk.
Something you might be interested in.
Frank Rennick's all in a twist because his robot got vandalized. We had a good laugh about it back at the station.
Aren't you? Name's Boone Morgan, your new best friend on Neon. If you're here for a drink or listen to the music, I've got you covered. But if you're here for something a little more exciting, we have plenty of Aurora for sale. Not at the Astral Lounge, my friend. In fact, this is the only place authorized to sell Aurora by order of Administrator Bayou himself. And once you buy it, you can use it anywhere in the Neon that you'd like. Well, except the spaceport, of course. Then what are we waiting for? Let's set you up. Here, take a look at the menu. Now, I'm not going to lie. The Aurora is a bit expensive, but let's face it. Can you really put a price on pleasure? That depends on if you're hungry or thirsty. Ah, a bit of a foodie, are we? I can't say I blame you. We're just as renowned for our cuisine here as we are for our drinks. First, let me tempt you with our melon caviar. Delicate, salty spheres of melon, hydroponically grown in our private aqua garden. And to finish, our lounge special strip. A grilled soy-based steak served with a steaming side of chipped potatoes. That's delicious. Anything there sound appetizing, or are you looking for something else? All right, well, I've got a couple of specialties of the house you might be interested in. First, there's our best seller, Sangria Astral, which is a curiously refreshing, fruit-infused red wine served in a commemorative bottle. But if your palate is a bit more refined, we have our Bayou Private Reserve, a painstakingly distilled cognac stored in the purest Arcturan crystal. That enough? Or are you hungry as well? Of course, of course. Pretty amazing, isn't it? That's Borealis, only 19 years old, and yet she produces some of the most heart-pounding, trippiest electronic music you've ever heard. I don't know where she gets her inspiration, but I'm betting all that free Aurora she gets has something to do with it. Oh, Ben and I are good friends. He personally gave me the job here at the Astral Lounge. Oh, he's a good man. Cares a lot about the citizens of Neon, making sure they're all employed and well taken care of. A real humanitarian. The Astral Lounge is one of the safest places in all of Neon. Security is handpicked from the finest officers in the city. Private meetings are usually held in the floor above. Just use the elevators. I'm afraid that would be a serious fire hazard. And I think it's only fair to warn you that the network security on our doors is state-of-the-art. Then I would say you'd be interested in the Astral Lounge VIP package. For a reasonable fee, our security can be your security. We do strive for setting the most reasonable rate. Huh. You work for Stroud Eklund? Perhaps something could be arranged. Yeah, I hope so. Maybe we can work something out. Well, I think we can certainly offer a discounted rate for you, if you were still interested. Excellent. Let me just apply that discount we discussed, and done. We do hope your meeting goes to your satisfaction. Excellent choice. The Sky Suite offers luxury and sophistication you won't find anywhere else in the settled systems. And since you'll be living in the same tower as the Astral Lounge, all of its pleasures and pageantry are only an elevator away. Of course, the Sky Suite features an open design with an emphasis on luxury. Whether you prefer the morning sky or a neon sunrise, the high ceilings and wall-sized windows will give you a full view of the city's splendor. How unfortunate, but I will be here should you change your mind.
Got plenty here to choose from.
Enjoy the lounge.
You're out there a lot, right? In space?
I hope you know what you're doing. Things for you.
Save it for someone who gives it to you.
You don't need to wear your helmet on this planet. You know that, right?
For just a few credits, our certified technicians.
Wow.
With us. Reliant Medical. It's time you were treated.
Interesting. This district certainly provides evidence that Ryujin's influence has spread from their tower and out into the city.
Welcome to Newell's. If you're looking for any specific goods, Rosa and I... Watch your back out there. Welcome to Newell's. If you're looking for any specific goods, Rosa and I guarantee we'll beat Sieghart's lousy selection every time. Rosa Newell is my wife. We own this place together. Sieghart's Outfitters? Oh, come on. You don't have to pretend you haven't been to his poor excuse for a store off of Bayou Plaza. I understand that. But when you're dealing with a snake like Siegert, normal commerce practices go right out the window. That man has absolutely no respect for the business community on Neon. He skips merchant meetings and refuses to participate in any of our group buys. Worst of all, he pays off Neon security to keep his place safe. By standing up to the lowlifes who come in here expecting me to just hand over all of my money, I refuse to be run out of business or be forced to pay protection. A lot of the merchants in Neon belong to a small merchants alliance. It's nothing formal. It's just a bunch of us getting together to air our grievances and watch each other's backs. Yeah, sure, if all you care about is yourself. Every payment Siegert makes validates Neon Security's corruption. He's setting a bad precedent that many merchants are forced to follow. Anyway, sorry. I know I can get a little intense about these things. If you'll forgive the outburst and have a look around, I'm sure you'll find something you might want to buy. I'd say the majority of the guards are rotten, and the few who aren't simply take a paycheck and look the other way. They have Neon completely under their control. The Freestar Collective's own security doesn't even maintain a presence here. If it wasn't for the Freestar Rangers outpost, there wouldn't be a shred of justice in this entire city. I arrived in Neon almost, 20 years ago? I had gotten a job at Xenofresh through a friend and started working on the loading docks. After a few years, they moved me up to Kazanbass processing, and that's where I met Rosa for the first time. She was my supervisor, but we hit it off right away. wasn't long before we decided to quit Xenofresh, get married, and start our own business. We've been in love ever since. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Information isn't usually free. Ugh, damn cyber runners. Always cutting into my business. Easy, friend. Not looking for trouble. Okay. I don't know much. But I did have one of my freelancers tail the seller back to his place. Sleep Crate 1. Let me write down the unit for you.
Now, James?
If you're looking for supplies, this is the place.
But Administrator Bayou came by while you were out.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. That'd be extremely helpful. I honestly don't know what to say. I'm a businessman. You help me with this, and I have no problem compensating you for your time. Just be careful when you're dealing with Sigurd. He can be surprisingly unreasonable when he's cornered. The first time I brought up the subject, we got into a huge argument. Sigurd said he had every intention of paying Neon security and that it was final. After that, I tried to speak to him a few times, but he's always been too busy to spend the time to sit down and have a decent conversation. It's obvious he has no intentions of talking to me anymore. I honestly don't know what I did to make him so angry with me. Of course! I have a huge inventory to choose from. I had to chase more zone heads out of here today. I don't think they even knew what planet they were on.
Kids having fun.
one good modification there. Very impressive.
Don't kid yourself, Rosa. Aurora isn't fine. It's poison, and it needs to be taken off the streets.
James, please, it's not just the Aurora. It's Administrator Bayou. How can I help you today? As long as he's in charge. Welcome to Newell's. Let me know if you need help with anything. We're a general goods store, so we carry all sorts of materials you can use to outfit yourself for galactic exploration. Oh my, do I? That's awful. I should be taking better care of my customers. You'll have to excuse me. With all the ruckus my husband's been making at the Merchant Alliance meetings, it's difficult to get any rest. Poor old man has himself mixed up in a foolish crusade against Dietrich Sieghart, who he's angry at for paying off Neon security. He runs Sieghart's Outfitters. It's right outside the spaceport terminal. I suppose you could say he's our only real competition. If you ask me, he isn't such a terrible person. Please don't tell James I said that. For protection, I assume. They apparently target certain businesses with some type of safety assurance fee scheme. We've been spared that indignity so far, but it's absolutely disgraceful this kind of thing is happening. It's a little group James formed, with some of the other vendors on Neon. I'd call it more of a support group, because all they do is sit around and complain about how hard it is to run a business here. I don't believe he is, no. I think my husband has Dietrich all wrong. He's probably doing what he has to do to survive. Just, please don't tell James I said that. I don't want him to think his own wife is doubting him. I have no idea. Anytime the subject comes up, it turns into an argument. Frankly, he's so obsessed with this Dietrich situation, I don't think he's listening to me at all. It's just a feeling that I have about Dietrich. I'm sure he's paying off Neon security because he has no choice. He can't afford to fight back like my husband expects. Well, thank you. I can't remember the last time a total stranger walked into our store and offered to help. It would be so lovely to see my James happy again. He used to smile at me all the time, you know. Now all I see is worry on his face. I suppose you can speak with him about it if you like, but perhaps you'd like to browse our store a bit before you do? Oh, he'll be so upset for me telling you this. But it's such a funny story. I can't resist. James and I used to work on the Chasm Bass line at Xenofresh. We didn't do any of the Aurora extraction, just dealt with the leftovers. I was a supervisor on the line, and when the alarm went up that it had been stopped, I investigated. I find James inside a storage vat, up to his shoulders in stinky fish guts, and blind as a bat. The gut got in his eyes, you see. I had to walk him to the showers, strip his work clothes, and hose him down. When he saw me standing there, he turned bright red. After the shift ended, we went out for a Terra brew and talked. A year later, we were married. Better times. Better times. Dietrich is actually quite a lovely man, though lately he's been under a lot of pressure, which has made him rather bitter. When we first opened our business here in Akuchi Market, he was actually very helpful. Offered us advice. Didn't treat us like competition at all. I'm sorry, I just don't believe Dietrich is doing anything wrong paying off Neon security. We all do what we have to do to survive in this wretched city. Unfortunately, my husband is convinced that fighting City Hall is the way to solve all of Neon's problems. I think he's wrong. I hope you find what you need. Now, James, I don't want you to get upset.
Need something? Duels Goods has a full line of equipment
Nicely done.
Rather be doing this than getting mixed up with the gangs.
Yeah, you. You really going to walk on by? Here, pick me up. This here, girl, we've got you covered. Your name is Neon or Night. Enjoy one of our distinct coffee.
There's got to be a megacorp that'll hire
Have you tried one of our advanced teller machines? Galbank ATMs are spread throughout the civil system.
Something for you when you have a moment.
I missed you too.
You're still so tense. Normally, once we're alone, your shoulders relax. They're taut.
We're on to something remarkable. Maybe what I've always dreamed of.
I can tell. I can see your mind racing.
I haven't even stopped to ask you how you're doing.
I'm fine. The board complains. I assure them. There's the occasional assassination attempt.
So, you don't need anything from me then?
I don't.
Am I just some useless stargazer? You would have been better off marrying a Hope or a Tayo, someone who could be with you in every meeting.
Oh, don't go on about that again. Needing you isn't the same as wanting you. And I'd much rather want my partner than need them. Less complicated.
Now, I know Constellation seems to take up so much of my time, but I never stop thinking of you, wondering what maneuvering you're doing to take over the company and drive me out.
It's how I show my love.
Any luck out there? Excellent. Good work. Let's head to the Astral Lounge. Goodbye, my dear. See you at the next board meeting?
Oh, I'll be keeping an eye on this little operation, just in case. Good luck, all of you.
To the Astral Lounge. It's exciting to see this little venture paying off, but we really do need to be careful. The artifacts were one thing, but this, well, we really need to keep this to ourselves. Can you imagine if word of this got out? Spoken like someone who's never run a corporation focused on innovation. We need to figure out what this all means before someone else does. I guess we should be grateful we seem to be ahead of the pack, as it were. So far, no indications that anyone else has noticed what we're up to. Let's just hope that doesn't change with this newfound ability of yours. Remember, you're representing all of us out there.
Perhaps something you might be interested in.
Catherine Luzian keeps demanding we look into her husband's murder. Murder. Yeah, right. Hysterical old broad.
Let's, stay away from Ebbside. The locals there don't exactly appreciate the tourists.
All right, we're here. Now, I don't know what the cellar looks like, but they'll have a security briefcase with them. Larger than normal. Big enough to hold the artifact. We should split up. The code phrase to identify yourself as the buyer is Ramsey and Travers. It's not like people who trade in stolen goods are eager to share personally identifying information. Are they?
Code phrases? My goodness, Walter, I think you're taking this espionage business a little too seriously.
Remember, Ramsey and Travers. We'll meet back near the elevator.
Last drink was stronger than I thought.
That's what you said 2 drinks ago. Maybe you should slow down.
Yeah, probably. Time to officially.
Take it easy.
Can you believe this place? What a great night!
I'll never get used to seeing you do that.
Hey, this is amazing! Hi!
Yes. What?
Howdy.
This place is insane!
What is it? Can't you see I'm busy drinking?
Oh, really? I heard you all have a meeting in a few minutes, don't you?
In one of those fancy VIP lounges? Speaking of which, I gotta get going myself. Excuse me.
Just saw our seller walk by. Good job. Now, before we head in there, let me go over the ground rules. He'll ask for twice what we agreed on. That's normal. He'll probably try to walk out. That's normal, too. Don't worry about the amount we actually settle on. The Stroud-Eklund Discretionary Fund is just a chip to you and me. Our goal is to get him to accept that chip in exchange for the artifact. Anything goes as long as it's in our hands, and we're not dead. How does that sound? That's why you're here. Hopefully our combined countenance will be enough, but grabbing the artifact and running is an option. Just do me a favor and treat it as a last resort. I have a reputation.
My mother wanted me to be a doctor.
So you're Stroud. You look different in person.
Our public relations always insists on doing some touch-ups for the official photos. Embarrassing, really.
Your security here going to stand or sit for this little meeting, making me nervous. So polite. Almost makes me forget what planet I'm on.
To assume that briefcase has our item of interest?
Yeah, here it is.
Well, look at that.
One of a kind, and I know you want it.
I have the amount we agreed on.
Things have changed. I want double.
Now, how am I supposed to do that?
I don't know, but your security here seems to have some fancy gear. Why don't they chip in? Not my problem.
It is if you leave empty-handed. We came here in good faith. Now honor our previous agreement.
You either figure out a way to give me what I want, or I walk out of here right now. I'm not hearing here's the money. I'm on a tight timetable.
And we would have wrapped up already if you hadn't gotten greedy. Our original offer stands. Now what's it going to be?
All right. You win. Hand over the money. This thing is all yours.
Well done. Some high-pressure tactics, but we got what we were after. Time to go home, shall we?
Stop right there. You're in possession of Slayton Aerospace property.
Ah. Slayton must have been the original owner. We don't need to do this. All's fair on Neon. Am I right?
Hand over Mr. Slayton's property. Now. It's my employer's property. That's all I need to know. You gonna make me shoot you? I'm listening. If you don't start anything, and I don't start anything, you don't know what you're talking about. That's it, we're done. Found one!
You picked the wrong fight.
This isn't happening!
I don't even need a gun.
Sending our men to the Astral Lounge. Slayton must be serious about getting...
Don't leave any of that behind.
Not if you don't need to wear your helmet in here. You know that, right?
Something's gone wrong, hasn't it?
Slayton has put a bounty on your heads. He's greased a few palms. Your ship's been impounded at the spaceport.
There goes our way out. The same way everything works on Neon. Money. It's terrible at keeping secrets. The CEO of Slayton Aerospace. They're a systems manufacturer. Engines, thrusters. Agreed. Have a talk with the man himself.
Slayton Aerospace has offices here in the trade tower. If Nicholas is moving this quickly, he must be there or close by.
Let's head to their lobby, shall we? See if we can make an appointment.
Things for you.
Clover over at Kelcorp? She's too good for Neon. Sounds like she's trying to help someone or something. Honestly, I couldn't.
Welcome to Slayton Aerospace. Can I help you? I'm afraid Mr. Slayton is a very busy man. No, he isn't. We weren't expecting a VIP to come through today. Let me just run a few checks. Maybe we can work something out. Oh, I think we can make an exception in your case. Mr. Slayton will see you. Just use the elevator.
You have a question, you can chat with the receptionist on.
Wait. This clearly isn't the executive level. He's on to us.
Walter. Taking what's mine, then breaking into my office. A bold move, but one easily countered.
Oh, we're trapped.
Hello, Walter, dear, are you there?
Issa?
Took longer than I'd like, but I managed to pay off one of Slayton's security consultants. They've patched me in.
All right, we've got her out. Once the door's open, just follow her instructions, okay? For the moment, Slayton will be scrambling his own security teams once he gets wind that we're no longer at his mercy. Our time is limited. I'm aware of the irony of me continuing to say it'll be easy. But it'll be easy.
Doors will open in 3, 2, 1. Slayton's guards and employees are all over. Be careful. Okay. You'll want to use the vent system to slip around unnoticed. There's a cupboard just to the right of the elevator you came in on. That's the elevator you came in on. Jump right across the top of it and keep going to the end. Drop down and follow the conduit all the way to the end, past the fog. There's a vent above you. Just climb up. The room below you is clear. Drop down. Stop. One of the doors leads you right into the open. I'm unlocking a safe route. Opening the door on your right. Go now. Head left, but don't go through the door at the end yet. There's a robot stalking the hall. Wait. It's walking down the hall. Go now, straight across to the door. Keep going, all the way to the end. Wait, there's people in the room up ahead. Closing the shutters. Another robot up ahead. Wait for it to pass, then head straight across to the maintenance door next to the security gate. Go now. Let me just get that for you. You know the routine. Up the vent. It's a short one, I promise. Almost there. Door on the right. There's the door. It should take you outside.
Outside? You expect us to climb up the trade tower?
There's a series of catwalks that lead directly up one floor to the executive level.
Well, I guess after you.